Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds number 28. And so this is where I like to collect together all the new music finds from the past week and present them to you. I get them from different places like local record store, online retailers like Amazon, eBay, and more. For this past week I have 4 new music finds, 1 new EP, 1 new box set, a reissue, and 1 rarity. So before we dive into all that though, if you are new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this with New Music Finds episode number 28. So yeah, kicking things off here, 2 new releases that I got from Amazon. First one up being Dirkschneider and the Old Gang, Rising, came out August 27th. So debut release from these guys. If the name Dirkschneider sounds familiar to you, it's because it belongs to Udo Dirkschneider, member of Accept, or former member of Accept I should say, but currently his own band Udo. And if you recall, a few years back, he was touring under the name Dirkschneider, doing all of the old Accept material, sort of putting a cap on it, saying, this was going to be the last time that he'd be performing all of that material. And I guess he sort of got nostalgic for it, because this release here gathers up 2 more former members of Accept, 3 total former members of Accept in this lineup: Udo Dirkschneider on vocals, Stefan Kaufmann on guitars, and Peter Baltz on bass and vocals as well. So you got all 3 of these guys coming together. You can imagine this sounds very close to classic sounding Accept, as a lot of the Udo material has anyway, but this is really good and it's great to have these guys back together. Let's just open this up because we can see all the guys in here, and of course they're right across the top there. And then the Old Gang, I guess, are these 3 people down here, although they are not old, they are very young people. So, or at least 2 of them, because one of them is Udo Dirkschneider's son, Sven. So he's on here playing on drums, and then we got some other people on here, Mathis on guitars and Manuela on vocals, it says. So, and she sort of sings some co-lead vocal parts on this. It's a little interesting, one, the title, Udo Dirkschneider and the Old Gang, and why they have these other 3 members prominently featured in it when it is pretty much referring directly to Udo, Stefan, and Peter. But then why they would bring in a female vocalist to also sing co-lead on tracks, again, when the title of the material is Udo, or Dirkschneider and the Old Gang. But we put all that stuff aside, the music is really good. It is only 3 tracks, so it's a single or an EP, but it's very good. I do recommend it. Check it out if you are a fan of Accept. Okay, next up, really big one here in my opinion, something that I know I was certainly looking forward to. Maybe you guys were as well. Enuff Z'Nuff, Never Enough, Rarities and Demos, came out on August 27th, and it is a box set, a 3 CD box set. Features 40 previously unreleased demo recordings. Don't let the word demo scare you off. These are really highly recorded, well done demos, all from before they were signed. So interesting at the high quality this is. They go back to 83, 84 era on up to about 88, right before they were signed there. And the stuff is really good. As I mentioned, this is a box set, legit. Like, I was sort of worried it was just going to be a sleeve with them pulling out, but it is a clamshell style box like this. You do get a book on the top of it, and then you get the 3 discs that are inside here. And there you go. They each have their own individual sleeves on them, and each one, independent artwork, which is cool too. And the breakdown of the tracks on it, the first disc is 12 tracks on it. It also contains the lead single, Bye Bye Love, and if you like that song or checked it out, you'll like the rest of this stuff. Obviously, the first disc is the most glam, coming from the earliest part of the 80s. I personally like the second disc best. I think it's got about the best production value on it, but the third disc is also very good in this. And as I mentioned, don't let the word demos scare you off on this. It's very well done. Check some of it out online. It can be a little rough in places, but it's so minor and it's not enough to be jarring or make it so that you can't enjoy these. Sometimes bands release demo recordings and they're almost unlistenable. The quality of sound varies, things of that nature. Clicks, skips, and jumps in the material, stuff like that. None of that here. So there's some parts on it, like I said, that are a little more rough than others, but otherwise it is very good, and I do recommend it for the die-hard Enuff Z'Nuff fans out there. If you're a brand new fan, go back and check out their debut album, the ones you can see behind me there, the first and second ones, self-titled and Strength, or Animals with Human Intelligence, which is right there. Those three are fantastic, and that would be a great place to start if you were a brand new Enuff Z'Nuff fan thinking about getting into them. All right, and so then I've got one reissue here that I picked up, and it comes from Amazon Marketplace. So it's been out for a few weeks at least, maybe even a month or so, and just having a really hard time getting a hold of it. Or Amazon, I should say, was having trouble getting a hold of it. So I canceled my order through them, ordered it through Marketplace, got it like 3 days later, and Anyway, so here it is. It is Great White Hooked. It is their 5th studio album, originally released in 1991. This one here, though, 2 CD set, coming out on the Bad Reputation label. And if you're a collector like me, you probably know about this label because they're doing some cool stuff. They've done some other ones that I've picked up. They reissued Tesla's Psychotic Supper as a 2 CD, restoring the artwork. They also put out Black Eyed Susan, Electric Rattlebone, this one a 2 CD set, adding into it their unreleased second album, Just a Taste, and a great band, if you've never heard of them, Wild Side. Check them out, Under the Influence. So they've done this one. I think they might have done a few others, but these are the ones that I've focused on here. And they've restored the artwork here. So you can see the original artwork, which obscured the naked lady below the water. But the coloration, this is much bolder, but it's a bit darker too. And you can see that the flesh tones are brighter on this. I'm not really sure why they are darkened up the way that they are on here, but that's probably just to be an eye-catching sort of a thing. But the cover was banned, so she was submerged like that. Now she's fully visible in here. This does feature a bonus disc in it called Live in New York, which is a previously unreleased live concert, at least in the US. It was a Japanese-only release at the time. It is long out of print and features 9 tracks on 11 total, but it's got intro and band members' names and stuff like that. There's a little bit better shot of the cover. And the front part of it just restores the original artwork that's in it. Let's jump through all of that. But then we get to this part, which is really cool because they recreate the Live in New York, that's the album cover, and then the Japanese booklet, which contain the lyrics that are there, but also this background information and a write-up about that, and the previous live album, Live in London, is talked about in there, and the rest of the artwork and what the back of this thing looked like. So, for me as a collector at least, I was a little leery of getting it. I don't like when they pair 2 releases together. I would rather them do unreleased, something that never had booklet and separate packaging. But since they did put something else that had been released in here, at least they recreated all of the artwork for it. So you are getting all of that just as if you were getting it as a standalone thing. For me at least, that is at least makes it more worthwhile and enjoyable there. And the quality of that live recording Live in New York is pretty cool. It's from Electric Ladyland Studios and was a small invite-only crowd that did it. And they performed some great covers and stuff that were unreleased at the time, and it was unique to get those tracks. Those are now been added as bonus tracks onto other recordings and things of that nature, studio versions, B-sides, that sort of stuff. But here they were performed live, which at the time would have been a pretty cool thing. And then the final new release that I got pick up was a rarity item that I purchased off eBay. The Cure Join the Dots sampler from 2004. You can see the full-length box set behind me that is a 4-disc box set. This has 12 tracks, so it's a selections from the box set. The box set has 70 tracks, all unreleased B-sides, outtakes, things of that nature, remixes and stuff like that. But this pares it down, so it's like getting a greatest hits from the box set. And you know, sometimes you don't want to put on all 4 discs kind of a thing and listen to it that way. And this is a nice sampler from it. And for me, at least, I look at these as like getting almost a brand new Cure album, the way that they're done. And it spans from 1978 up to when this was released, so 2001. And it does have a small 2-page booklet in it. This lists out all the tracks from the box set, and then a cool thing on the back side here that talks about Robert Smith's opinion about why he likes B-sides so much. And I agree with him. I mean, for him, the B-side was to show another side of the band, and it was something to, you know, a little extra to give to your fans, and that's exactly what this is. And it just seems as though today the B-side is a lost art form. Nobody does it. Everything with digital releases, if you put 2 tracks out, you know, 3 tracks out, whatever, it's considered an EP. No longer do you get the B-side or anything of that nature. But then it's also shifted a bit because now it seems like every album has a deluxe edition with bonus tracks. So I guess the B-side has really shifted from a single over to the album side of things. So they're still there, they're floating around, they're just in different ways. You have to look for them in different configurations and all. But there you go, that is New Music Finds episode number 28. Don't forget to check the description for links to related videos. In particular, I did a full review of that Enuff Z'Nuff box set called Never Enough, and you can check that out. Also, I did a music collection video of 10 more rare and valuable albums. The Cure Join the Dots sampler is included within that if you'd like to check out that and more. And then also I've included in here Jack Russell's Great White, Great Zeppelin 2, a review of that. That is the latest release from either factions of the band, and you can enjoy that. So also, if you enjoyed this, please share the video out on social media, help spread the word that way. I would also greatly appreciate that. All right, everyone, take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.